All right.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Episode 7?
7 of the Late Game Link.
Welcome to Late Game Link podcast.
We gotta figure out if we want to like abbreviate that or something or not.
Like
I like the
LGL.
Late Game Link, but the LGL pod, maybe that could be like Instagram or something.
Yeah.
LGL
yeah.
pod.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We can figure it out. But.
Well, either way, I'm Derek.
And I'm Robbie.
And this is a weekly podcast where we talk about various nerdy things and just in general, like culture, I would say. In a way, I think we talk a lot about, just things that are happening in media and our reactions to it.
And that easily leaks in, like you said, any sort of cultural type relevance there. Because let's be real. I mean, the media is art, like we like to say, and life imitates it.
There's a lot to talk about. Typically we post on Mondays. This episode's coming up a little later, but we should be back to a Monday schedule following this week.
Yeah. We even forgot to mention, through our plans of what we're going to talk about today, we forgot about our costumes.
Yeah, actually. Are you, what is your Halloween costume?
Yeah, so I am, I guess I'll say over the weekend, me and my wife Theodora, we were Fred and the Hex Girl from Scooby-Doo, which I've talked about on the pod before. Mm-hmm. So I was very excited that we got to do that.
Fred Jones, question mark?
I think it sounds right.
That sounds right. I don't know. Comment if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Tell me.
It sounds right, but I have no idea. Mm-hmm. And then today, this is my go-to costume at all times because it's very easy as a brown-haired, straight white man to just whip up a Marty McFly costume. So that is what I am.
I think the vest really.
Oh yeah. So what's crazy about this, and I'm almost positive I looked it up online. I might have to look up again. My grandfather was moving, and they had a bunch of stuff in the basement, and he's like, "We already got everything we want out of there. Go down there, and if there's anything you want, take it because we're gonna get rid of it." And this was down there, like on a hook. And I remember looking up. There's this logo and stuff, and I remember looking up, and it's like it might be the same brand as the one that they used in the movie.
Oh,
because this is from the '80s, Like my grandfather has had this for decades. And so I remember when I saw it, I was like, that's the Marty McFly. That was the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the Marty McFly vest. So that's why I kept it. And here we are. I mean, I've been Marty McFly. Mm-hmm. Anybody watching this who knows me somewhat well knows I have rocked this for Halloween a couple times. So
I've seen it once or twice,
Yeah, it's an easy costume. It fits well, so
especially I feel like the past few years, especially being in our 20s, there's multiple Halloween events sometimes.
Oh yeah.
So it's just good to have reserve costumes. You're not wearing the same costume every event. So
also I did go around in college. I was in college when the date in the movie was when Marty went to the future. Mm-hmm. So when was that? It was 2016 or something like that. Mm-hmm. Whatever the date was in the movie, I was in college and I went around all day dressed as Marty McFly, and people got it. People were like, "Today's the day." It was in the news. That, they're like, "Oh, CBS Morning News," and this is the day that Marty McFly would have arrived to the future, and they show all the stuff from the movie that they thought was going to be futuristic at the time. And so I just walked around all day like this, and people got it. People were amped up. So
there's something to Halloween, a often unspoken aspect to it, where the timeliness of costumes, Yeah. And there's big trends. For some reason this year, I think the top costumes I saw were K-pop Demon Hunters, because so many kids dressed up as characters from that. But then, after that, Nightwing from, DC Comics was, a huge, I was, number 4.
What was up with that? Is it sexual? I remember seeing, Sorry. That was I saw comments on TikTok being I need my man in a Nightwing costume, or, something like that.
Nightwing is notoriously, referred to as, the hottest man in DC Comics, and specifically, and I think there was a comic run in the early 2000s that where they really went in on this, and this is now part of Nightwing's brand overall, is he has like a massive ass. Like he is like kicked up, and they like draw him. Dumpy. No, and like even compared to all the other, I mean, typically in superhero comics, especially the artists like, and it's like in no way meant as like shade because I can't do that, but like you kind of have like a typical body you draw, and you make slight edits maybe to frame to differentiate like how Batman's body is different from Superman's body, who's different from Flash. But I mean, realistically, like you could draw all those bodies the same, and they're differentiated by like their uniform. Yeah. But Nightwing is drawn with a massive ass all the time, and that's part of his brand. So I think there's just like a sexual element. That's like a sexy costume now because he's a hot guy. He's just a hot guy, and he's loved by all, straight, gay. You know.
He's him.
You know? He's him. Well, I am obviously also dressed up as former leader of the CCP, Mao Zedong. No, I'm just kidding. I'm Android 17 from Dragon Ball Z, for anybody familiar. And definitely was just excited to wear a wig. Was excited to be like, I don't know, like I feel like the thing that excites me the most about Halloween is like a really niche pull. Or if you can pull something that's like really, especially for people that are our age, like, you know, pushing or at 30. I feel like there's so many I feel like there's so many things from our childhood that like I will see people dressed up as, especially this past Halloween. I feel like, you know, people are hitting a certain age. I'm impressed. I feel like the more specific your pull is these days, the more celebrated I'm seeing. So definitely. I loved Android 17. He wasn't like my favorite when I was a kid in Dragon Ball Z, but like I always had a fascination for sure.
Were you a big Dragon Ball Z?
Oh my god!
Yeah, I feel like you've definitely mentioned it, but I didn't realize how big, I guess.
I did really love Dragon Ball Z. I feel like I didn't get into Naruto. I didn't get into One Piece. I tried Bleach, but like, in terms of what was going on around that time, it was Dragon Ball. Because they had the video games too, you know, and that was always my favorite.
I lived that small town lifestyle of like most people are like, oh, like, that's weird. Like, why are you watching like those like the anime essentially? But we didn't even know what anime was, like the word. Yeah, we were that young. But I think I was definitely peer pressured into just not wanting to watch that show. Yeah, I never had anything against it. I just feel like the vibe of the people around me were like, that's weird. Yeah, so I never got into it. I've seen a couple TikTok edits that have mashed things together of like kind of like briefly the story, but I really don't know much at all. Yeah. And I didn't even get into Naruto. I didn't watch Naruto until like college. Oh wow. Which is wild. And I was ripping back Pokemon because I was like, oh, that's like a normal cartoon. So
you didn't watch any anime when you were like a kid?
No, it all started in college. Yeah. You know, any anime I've seen besides Pokemon. I'm trying to think of any others. No.
Were you watching Yu-Gi-Oh? That's technically an anime.
Oh yeah. So, okay, Yu-Gi-Oh. Yep. Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't count, but I feel like it has its influences. Like at least for a kid who might be peer pressured into not watching Dragon Ball Z, Avatar is like kind of in that, you know. Yeah. Again, for an uneducated kid, that's like on the cusp of that. But
made in Canada, but, you know.
Yeah. No, I did. I watched Avatar, but it wasn't until college. All the animes I've watched since have been after that. So I got some catching up to do. Yeah, maybe that can be one of your recommendations. One of these future weeks.
I think there's a couple. There's definitely some movies. See, the thing is, I am so tapped out of Dragon Ball Z. So like, what was like this costume that I'm in is how Android 17 first debuted, which I remember so vividly, like when they went through the whole Android saga. And he just kind of shows up with like his weird sister, and they beat up the main characters. They're like, I would say villain of the week, but like villain for an arc. And then he goes away, and I learned
so he's a villain.
He was, yeah. And then I learned through putting this costume together and just doing some reading online. He has had a whole redemption arc, and at one point is fighting alongside Goku, the main character, if you're unfamiliar, and like saves the universe. There's like a universal tournament at play where like there's like representatives from every universe fighting each other to stop your universe from being destroyed, and 17's the one. So
I
learned he's kind of him.
He's kind of him. All right.
But he's wearing a different costume. This is classic villainous Android 17, who's, also, and I'll say this, like, I don't know if it's the Bob, I don't know if it's the just kind of snarky, bitchy attitude. Him and his sister are fully destroying a city, and at one point they just get on one of those rides with spinning chairs. It spins and you're flying through the sky.
Yeah.
And the heroes show up and they're just on this ride laughing and riding around. There's something
before we destroy this.
Yeah. There's something kind of queer coded about Android 17 that I feel like is why there was any fixation, and I am so happy to be channeling that this Halloween. I feel successful. So
hell yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, typically we jump into hot topics, things kind of going on
throughout the week since we last talked to each other that are more current. So it doesn't have to be a current event. It doesn't have to happen in the last week. It doesn't have to be something that's it just came out.
Yeah.
But it's something that we personally interacted with or saw or wanted to talk about within this last week of not seeing each other. That we bring up and we call it our topics of the week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Derek, you wanted to start us off?
Definitely, and kind of a natural lead-in from our Halloween conversation. I was out of town this week, but while I was out of town, I was enamored on Halloween night with, I guess that was the Friday, the 31st. Sabrina Carpenter's Short and Sweet tour in Madison Square Garden, I believe. New York City. It was short and spooky because it was Halloween, and she dressed up as Wonder Woman, Barbie, and Fred Flintstone for the 3 acts of this performance, with all the backup dancers as different people, different costumes, including Ash Ketchum was there, man. Kill Bill, the bride, was there, Jessie from Toy Story, Thriller, just Michael Jackson, just iconic costumes, that all of her backup dancers were in. There was a storm there. So, I just am letting Sabrina Carpenter know, you did win Halloween. I feel like, especially to do a concert and so effectively, the Wonder Woman costume was perfect. And, I mean, she looks like a doll anyway, but, I just feel like there was a real commitment to what makes Halloween fun, which is seeing different characters and different contexts all dancing. I just loved seeing those videos, and it really endeared me to her because I didn't love that last album, but I gotta say, I just like the acknowledgement of Halloween. Back. Got some, I didn't lose respect per se, but that's just some appreciation,
some vibes back.
You got me back a little bit, girl. Okay. And I just feel like maybe I think people steer away from doing Halloween as their brand sometimes, especially if you're a public figure on that level, because you don't want to be pigeonholed, which I definitely understand. And
not Heidi Klum, but
but that's where we dip into cringe with Heidi a little bit, where I'm it's okay, but they're really well done, and she's employing special effects artists, sure, but I just think, run this back, Sabrina. If we're
that's a good idea.
If we're still here next Halloween, give us another Halloween show like this. Give us some.
What do you say if we're here? If the world is still intact next Halloween.
Not
a bad take.
I'm wearing a wig. We are keeping the vibes light today, but let's run that back. Let's do more Halloween themed concerts, and I mean, it has to be you, because I feel like if someone else does anything resembling this, they're gonna look like a biter. So I carry the torch, give us costumes, find a way to keep it fresh. You're paying some twink a lot of money to figure this out for you, so I know you can do it. I just think this was really successful, and being on comic book Twitter and comic book spaces online, there was a lot of celebration of this look, and in general, especially just Wonder Woman has had a bad run as a character for a little bit at Gal Gadot. Enemy
I was
of the Pod.
Just gonna say to you.
You think? So to
we gotta keep it light. We gotta keep it light.
Hey, if you know, you know. But I would say if to highlight Wonder Woman and that character, and I even saw that if you do remember, I don't know if you remember there was a Wonder Woman like live action show from like the 70s starring Linda Carter. And it's like corny these days, especially because it's like Wonder Woman, like, it's like a show from the 70s. It looks like the Brady Bunch, and then she spins, and there's like a really shitty effect, and then she is in the costume,
either non-existent or
a white like, or a pigeon flies and lands on her arm, and it chirps, and she goes, "Thanks for the tip," and like, lets it run. Stuff like that's going on, yes. But it is like pure like Wonder Woman is like a cultural icon in a way that I don't think we've been able to like really acknowledge. And Linda Carter, I saw made a post like of this Sabrina Carpenter thing, because she was wearing like the Linda Carter swimsuit style, because right now Wonder Woman's a gladiator, and that's more so the vibe of that character. But the Linda Carter version was like the swimsuit cut thing, and she made a post that was like, like she said something that really genuinely touched my heart, that was just like, I love this so much. Someone reached out to me and asked me how I felt about this, and it's like, I want to be super clear. Like, sometimes, Wonder Woman is all of us, and sometimes Wonder Woman is like a 5'2" blonde like Sabrina Carpenter, and you've like so emulated what I love about Wonder Woman as a concept. And I was like, that is just that awesome. Stamp of approval. I'm just like, Sabrina. That's why I'm like, Godbrina, low-key, you did that. You yes. You got like a stamp of approval from like a certified legend, and I just think that is really cool, Sabrina. So. Yeah,
I'm like surprised that that actress would like tweet out. I'm assuming it was a tweet or a post, or that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, love.
She got her flowers.
Got her flowers, and none for Gal. But I will say, love that, and then also dresses Fred Flintstone. Sure, you know what I mean. Just give us weird references. Give us things that like the kids don't know about, because the kids. I feel like there was a lot of
that could have been something she liked, like as a kid or something. Or her family, like that's something her family were into, and. They watch the episodes every once in a while. Like,
exactly. And I just feel like, the Flintstones were really present for me as a kid. Like, I feel like I really knew about the Flintstones, but I don't know if I was born in, like, 2015, which that's a 10-year-old these days, kids. I don't know what my awareness of the Flintstones would be, I don't know. Yeah. So,
I mean, I knew who the Flintstones were, and, like, I knew, like, the Yabba Dabba Doo, right? But I never really watched the episodes. Like, they were available on, like, Cartoon Network and stuff, but I just... Again, never got into it, but I knew of them, for sure. But yeah, now I feel like people probably, younger people are like, what is that? Like, what is it? Like a leopard print, like skin or something?
It's like orange with spots.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's
cheetah.
Like saber-tooth tiger or
something. Or something. Yeah, fur.
Either way,
and then a tie, of course.
But, either way, love you, Sabrina Carpenter. I mean, love this, I will say. Hey, I can't stand behind you on everything, but love this for sure. And then my only other hot topic for the week is last week I talked a little bit about this game called Dispatch that came out I think a couple weeks ago.
It has officially, I was talking to you a little bit before we started recording, it has officially hit my algorithm. Like, it's been popping up on my feed, and I've been like trying, because I really am thinking about see, this is the problem. I made a vow to not get a new game until the start of the new year. So I don't know. We'll see. But I've been trying to avoid spoilers, essentially.
I would say, stick to your vow. If that, don't be an oath breaker per se. But this game is not going to take up too much of your time. Like, the episodes are maybe 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, that is.
And so if there are 4 out right now, I mean, that's it's not going to eat too much time, and then there's 4 more that I have to play. But I like this game. I expressed some concerns last week a little bit about like what this game is going to say, just in like a general superhero. It's called Dispatch, so like there's like a police aspect or vibe to a lot of this, even though it's a private company that you work for, that people pay. But that's like, capitalist hell. $1 in the jar. But you pay like like superhero insurance, so they can come help you if something happens. Like, that's not a system I also endorse. But what I will say is, I think that this is, in terms of gameplay and in terms of general vibe, I do enjoy this game. I think that it is saying something. The general concept, at least so far, is like your team is a team of former villains who are kind of turning over a new leaf, and trying to be better. And there's even commentary a little bit about like one character says like, oh, like Blonde Blazer is amazing because she can fly, she glows, she shoots like things, like she has a superhero power. And then this character, she turns invisible when she holds her breath, and she's like, my power is for stealing and watching famous people have sex. Like I have a villain power, and I just feel like that's like that there is something to be said about that a little bit. And the hand you're dealt, I'm begging this game to give me some deeper themes to chew on. My one critique right now, before the end, at which point I may disavow this whole thing as propaganda, we'll see. Not ruling it out, but my only gripe is just this game is like oppressively heterosexual in a way that like a choice-based game, in my opinion, in 2025, I know the character like that you're playing as is an established character with like lore, and he can be a straight man, and that's fine, but like the last chapter I played was chapter 4, and it really outlines like you're given a choice between go on a date with this woman or this woman, and I'm like, there's just I understand that if you make too many options in a game like this, it's really difficult
complex,
to manage, right? and it's not something that every game can do.
It's Critical Role though, which I feel like they're usually pretty on the forefront of like good topics like that, so
I think that's why it's so glaring, but we'll see how it progresses.
It probably is as soon as you add one extra thing, because that drastically changes, right? Like who you choose to be romantic with, I'm sure like it needs to drastically change the story, right?
Yeah.
And then like how many, but that's one of those things where you need to plan that in and have those branches go. Like the butterfly effect, I guess.
Yeah, and what I will say is this game, to a degree, there's an aspect that's like the illusion of your choice being super significant. Like there are some choices that are really big. Like in chapter 3, you start and they say, you got to cut somebody from the team, and that's going to happen by the end of the episode. Is you choose someone to cut, and that's a choice that like I understand branching things. That's going to have consequence. But there are choices about like much lighter things that I'm kind of like, I don't know, like let me like flirt with that hot dude, like let me have that as an option.
You want a Baldur's Gate 3 level of like,
well, and that's like off the chain. All I'm asking for is like a little bit of an option, just because I also think maybe it's just because like I'm approaching it from my own perspective here, but it's like how many heterosexual love triangles until it's enough? You know what I mean? Like how many until it is enough? How many times have we seen the same thing? You gotta look in at different fonts.
Critical Role's fan base.
Yeah,
and that's very surprising. Like I feel like their fan base is very diverse, and that's surprising to go very heterosexual with.
Yeah,
because this is their first game, correct?
Their first game like this, to my understanding.
Or just in general, like a video game.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know of any other, but then again, I'm not well versed in Critical Role's
Yeah.
video games, but
listen, either way, play Dispatch, because I think like I know it's getting a lot of hype right now, but I think that the feedback is being heard also, because especially with their base being a lot of gay people, I feel like there's no way this feedback hasn't reached somebody's ears, and I'd love for them to make more games of this genre, and maybe eventually one where like the protagonist is gay, like I don't know, like that I feel like would be kind of exciting, and games influences life and culture, so like I think the world needs that right now. Yeah, that's my feedback about Dispatch.
All right.
What about you? What are your observations from the week?
So, number one, I saw this. I was like, oh shit, we got to talk about it. We have both expressed about being big fans of these movies. The Mummy has announced they are in the works right now of a new movie, and is with Brendan Fraser and Rachel, I want to say Weisz.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that until like 2 days ago.
Well, I'm learning that on camera right now.
Oh, okay, all right. When you said, "Oh yeah," I was like, "Oh, you know."
Well, you said Rachel Weisz. I thought you were asking about Rachel. Yeah.
It is in the works. It is officially.
Wow.
In the works.
So we're just pretending that like Tom Cruise detour did not occur.
I would love for us to pretend that did.
Enemy of the pod.
Well, because they only did I don't know about. I don't think Rachel Weisz was in the third one.
No, they recast her.
They did Brendan Fraser for 3,
mm-hmm.
right? And then that's when it started like going off the rails.
Yeah.
I saw people calling it The Mummy 4. I don't know if that's what it was like said to be called, but this would be the 4th one that Brendan Fraser's in. So they did the Mummy, and then the
Mummy Returns,
and then they did the one in Asia,
Curse of the Dragon Emperor, I believe it was called.
And then after that, they what was the one with The Rock? Dwayne Johnson did one.
That was the Scorpion King. I think that was a offshoot because he was like the villain of the Mummy 2 location.
Yes,
so I think that was.
So I know there were some offshoots in different versions, but anyway, I am very excited for that. I'm glad Brendan Fraser is like on the swing, like he's back.
Yeah.
I think in there was that movie that he was in that he got like credit at, I want to say the Oscars for, and he made
The Whale.
He like made that like speech about how, oh man, I need to relook that, rewatch that speech, but he kind of like said like it felt like, Hollywood kind of took him in and then spit him out, and then he was like, just kind of like done forever, I guess, and now he's kind of like on the swing again. So I don't know. That is exciting to hear. I need a good like that style adventure movie. I hope they capture the essence of those original movies. I think
that makes a lot of sense just timeline wise. Like you talk about like what is it, like 30-year cycles, that's why like the 80s was so present like in the 2010s because that's when everybody who grew up then is like making art and is nostalgic.
Yes.
So like the Mummy coming back, that timing wise feels very correct.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
I guess because now it's like 90s, right? 90s is the big, kind of resurgence, I guess.
And in a way where, like, I think the 90s have always been kind of romanticized because of, again, I'm wearing a wig, so I'm not going to get into it, but like 9/11. And So like it's always
you gotta go. We're keeping it light and shake the bob.
We're keeping it light. 9/11 might be my new tagline. I don't know. That feels kind of fun.
That took something out of your throat.
I think God tried to strike me
gas.
down. Was like, what are you doing? But the 90s have always been romanticized. But I think especially like the art that was made at that time, we really are seeing. I think that's why like The Little Mermaid got a remake when it did. I think that's why like other things are on the table being revisited because we're really in that swing right now. So
I'm glad that the Mummy's in the swing. I'm glad it's a part of the 90s wave resurgence wave. I don't know, they're the same thing, but I thought that was very exciting. Topic 2, they announced, I guess. I think it might be on the Switch store right now to say like coming soon, or I don't know, they just made an announcement in general. Good old me, I'm always bitching on this podcast about make a retro looking but new Pokemon game. And of course Nintendo's not doing it, but they announced, and I think what's so big about it is it's on the Switch. Like that's what it's coming to, which people are like, oh god, you're about to get slapped with like litigations and everything from Nintendo. But if it pans out, it's called Doki Monsters. I don't know if you saw this announcement. It is a Pokemon like RPG coming to the Switch, and it legit looks like the Game Boy Color graphics. Like it looks like the Legends of Zelda, like pixel art.
Oh,
yeah. Can you possibly? One? Yeah, so even pull up like where they're walking around the world. Like just like exit out of this, just go to like images. You see that? Like that is like that is Game Boy Color to the max right there. The one where they're like outside, that looks like Legends of Zelda to me. Does it not?
It does. It does. And you have a little companion.
Yeah, they can walk behind you and stuff.
Wow, this is definitely giving me the Soul Silver like energy.
No, it looks like Pokemon and the Game Boy Legends of Zelda games like mashed together, and then it'll be on the Switch. It just says coming soon. They don't have an official release date, but they've released a bunch of like snippets and videos of it. So I don't know. That looks sick. If it comes out pending Nintendo litigations, I am getting that for sure.
Damn.
I mean, that is like what I've been asking for. So I don't know. We'll see. And then the last little topic of the week, very short, but and this will also, one of these movies will go into my hot takes for the week. But me and my friends, shout out to Big Al and Raleigh. Every once in a while we get together. We quote unquote get our minds right, which is, I didn't partake this time, but usually I do. We hit a little pen or something and we watch very bad movies. And like, like some movies try to be like campy and they're like, okay, like we're purposely trying to be bad. And that's what makes it fun. The movies that we like to watch are just bad. Like you can tell like they didn't try to be as bad as they are, but like, again, that's the fun of it. We watched a movie called Zombievers about kids in their like 20s, that go to the lake house and there's a bunch of fucking zombie beavers. Like,
I feel like I might have heard of this movie or seen something from. When did it come out?
It's like I want to say like 2014 or 2013, like somewhere, like definitely before 2014 or in between 2010 and 2014 probably is what I did. And the only reason why I wanted to bring this up, because me and my friends watching, we looked at each other like, wait, what? Like, what the fuck? So again, the people who are in this like aren't huge actors. I think, have you ever heard of The Real Bros of Simi Valley? It's Jimmy Tatro. I don't know if you've heard of him. He had like a show that he did. You would probably know Jimmy Tatro if you like saw him. He's gotten big enough. He was in like 22 Jump Street. But anyway, there was a guy in this from that. The girl, this is also very weirdly specific. They made a Dumb and Dumber 2. Like, it was supposed to be T-O-O, but they're stupid, so it's spelled T-O.
Gotcha.
And that was made with like Jim Carrey and fuck, I should know his name. I know his name, I'm just forgetting it. The other guy who plays Harry. They did like a sequel, like an official sequel, and that was in like 2015 or something like that, 2014, 2015. And the whole thing is that Jim Carrey's character has like a daughter that he like didn't know about. And the girl who plays his daughter is like one of the main girls in this movie. In
Zombievers.
Yes, in Zombievers. Again, most of these people I did not recognize, right? And like by the trailer of this, like this is going to be a bad movie. Like it's supposed to be, right? And that's okay and it's fun. But the whole thing is that the story is that there's these guys driving down the road, and I'll explain what happens, but the way they create the zombie beavers is a canister of like radioactive waste falls off the truck into the river and then floats down and gets into the beaver's dam, right? And it poisons them and makes them zombies. Well, it starts the movie where it's two guys driving a truck, right, with all the radioactive waste. At the wheel is Bill Burr, the comedian Bill Burr.
Ooh.
And beside him, in like a mustache and is John Mayer. Singer, songwriter, Grammy winner.
I feel like I definitely saw this movie in 2014.
Legitimately, they are the two people driving the truck.
Oh my god.
So what happens is they're like, essentially a deer comes onto the road and John Mayer's character goes to Bill Burr and he's like, oh, there's deer up there. And Bill Burr's like on his phone texting, like a flip phone. He's like, oh, like, yeah, no, I got it. He's like, do you got it? He's like, yeah. And they just hit the deer. And that's what causes the thing to go off.
Well, that sounds funny.
Yeah, no. But I could not believe, like, this type of movie and seeing those two people in it.
Yeah.
Which was, like, just wild. I don't know.
Was it giving, like, high production value? Like, does it seem like they spent money on this movie?
Well, they definitely did. I mean, it's not like... I can't express enough. It's like a bad movie. Mm-hmm. Like, they definitely had to try to do this. Like, I think it's in that, which we're starting to figure out as we dive into these movies, there is a culture behind, like, purposely making bad movies.
Yeah.
And this was one of them. So, yeah, I don't know. That's something I just thought was, like, what the fuck? Which kind of leads me, I might start, if you're okay.
Do it.
I have one hot take of the
That's
of
connected
the week
to this.
that's connected to this. We watched another movie, which this is when we started to realize, because this sphere of bad movies heavily leaks into like the stoner comedies, stoner like horror movie, like just the stoner sphere of like, let's make these movies that like stoners are gonna like, and it's got to be outrageous and stupid and wacky, right? Well, we watched a movie, and to this date, it's the worst movie I think I've ever seen in my life. And we've seen some pretty bad fucking movie. And it was so bad that it was not good. And it was called The Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong. Holy fuck.
So does the versus here imply that the Ginger Dead Man is like an established character?
Evil Bong's an established character. Okay. So that's the thing that we didn't know. We found this movie on Amazon Prime. Sorry, Prime Video. And it had one review. It was made in like 2011, something like that. And we're like, this is just what we're looking for. Like some shitty movie. The trailer looked like wacky, but like enough to be like, all right, this is a real movie. Yeah, well, we'll see what this is all about. Oh my God. Well, first off, there's got to be at least 12 to 15 of these like universe movies, like characters that are in these movies. Like they have created a stoner like MCU in these movies.
Do you remember the production company? Like who is making this?
No, I don't remember. But you know what's crazy is, so they reference scenes in another movie. I think it was like The Ginger Dead Man. Cheech from Cheech and Chong is in it. Oh. Which I'm like, what the fuck? And I can't express how much this movie looks like they just took a camcorder and just started ripping it. Like, it looks terrible.
Do you remember how long it was?
It's like an hour and a half, something like that. Hour 20, hour 30.
And would you use the word, like, unwatchable to describe this movie? Like, you'd say it's like...
It wasn't unwatchable, but, I mean, it was so bad. Like, and I think also the problem is like, we weren't ready for like what this movie was gonna be about. They're just things just like don't make sense. Like the writing is just so bad. Like there's a way to like make a bad movie but still make it make sense. But this movie, there's just times where you're like, what the fuck is happening now? Like what? Like it just things didn't add up. Things like we were just confused. I don't know. It was atrocious. Like the actual story, right, was just really bad. You can tell they just try to make everything like wacky as shit. There's tits all the time. Like people are getting stoned. The whole thing is that the Ginger Dead Man has his own movies. The Evil Bong has their own movies.
This is them going.
And yeah, so like the Ginger Dead Man used to be, which it's another famous. Let me look it up. Hold up. There's another famous guy. Ginger Dead Man. Here we go. Cast. Let me. Gary Busey is a murderer in that movie.
Gary Busey. Yes. Why? What am I thinking of Gary Busey for? I definitely recognize him. Yeah. I feel like there's something. There's a touch point that I'm missing, but okay.
Yeah. So like
he was the Ginger Dead.
Well, I guess. So they had flashbacks. And, like, that's where, like, what the fuck is going on? Where's Gary Busey here in a flashback? The flashback, they also use a graphic from, like, 2002. There's, like, a rain around, like, a shimmery rain around the screen. Like, it was, like, PowerPoint made it or something. And, I don't know. It's really fucking bad. And he, like, tried to kill this girl, and then she, like, somehow baked him into a cookie. But, like, with magic. Like, it wasn't like she physically put him in a furnace, right? Like, he somehow, his soul just got, like, put into a cookie, like a gingerbread cookie.
And he's a small gingerbread cookie.
Yes.
Like this big.
Like probably like maybe a foot tall, 2 feet tall probably or something.
Oh, like something Chucky sized.
Yeah, like a little smaller than Chucky. But like definitely not this big. Like definitely like a little bit bigger. Like I'd say like a foot and a half, something like that. Like that tall maybe.
Okay. How big is Evil Bong?
Evil Bong, that's like a good 3 foot fucking bong. So what happens is you rip the bong. The bong has magical powers and it makes you want to take a hit from it. And when you do, you get trapped inside the bong. And then when you're in the bong, it like can magically make some of your wishes come true to make you stay trapped in the bong.
Oh. It's like a Matrix.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird. Well, not exactly the Matrix, because the Matrix is like, oh, like this is, it feels like normal life. Yeah. No, this is straight up like you're in like fucking hell.
Okay.
Like, but you're also like
getting wishes.
Like the one guy has like a wall of titties. Like, that's, like, the one thing he wants.
Okay.
That, like, keeps him in there. Like, it's the weirdest shit ever. It's so bad.
Is there a winner to Ginger Dead versus Bong? Is there a solid winner? Because if so, I want to guess.
There's like this main... Oh, between those two?
Yes. Does someone win Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong?
Yes. Yes, I think I remember correctly.
Okay, I'm going to guess.
Yes.
It had to be Ginger Dead Man.
No.
Evil Bong wins that matchup?
Because the Ginger Dead Man, it ends. I'm almost positive. I could be remembering. I'm pretty sure it ends with Ginger Dead Man trapped in the bong.
Okay.
There's also there's King Bong, which is from another movie that you meet.
Oh my god.
It's fucking insane. It's so bad. And because they found Evil Bong when they're doing King Bong shit. And like, King Bong has like the titty brigade that comes. It's these like tribal, it's like essentially porn stars dressed up like tribal women. Okay. And they just have their titties out. And they do the Bong's like doings. Like what he wants.
Servants.
So yes, yeah. So like if people need attacked, you know, if they're trying to attack King Bong or Evil Bong or whatever, he'd be like, no, like get him. Like titty girls, like get them. And then it's people like, oh no, like they got me. And like it's like super sexual. Nah, it's fucking weird.
My guess, just to be clear, was based on the fact that I feel like Ginger Dead Man is kind of more iconic and less... Like, as a concept, I'm kind of more endeared to that.
I can't also express how bad... Here, hold up. Like ugly Ginger Dead Man looks.
Okay. Hold up. I just feel like, wow. Evil Bong sounds like OP. Like, he's got some, like, reality warping or something going on.
This is what he looks like.
Okay, yeah, that's not what I was picturing. I had a much cuter vision
No, it
of
looks fucking...
this character.
If you're listening right now, just... take a beat and just look up Ginger Dead Man and look at any of the photos.
It's I mean, it looks like Gary Busey, which I'm kind of amazed that Gary Busey agreed to this because this feels like a read.
Yeah, no, this
feels like
this is insane. This is the picture of this movie, Evil Dead, Ginger Dead versus Evil Bong. Yeah,
and
Hell rode with them. Horrible, dude. It's horrible. It's so fucking bad.
Well, I was unaware of the Ginger Dead Man universe.
Well, so that's the thing. That's my hot take. Because apparently they've made so many of these movies. They had to have spent millions of dollars like doing this over the years. Like that's how many of them there are. And so that means there is a subset of people, whether in the stoner community or whatever, who they are, that is keeping this alive. Like, this has to have enough viewership that people are like, no, that's the whole point. It's supposed to be that bad and stoner and like, no. I am. This hot take is directly for the people who support these movies. I was about to go crazy. I'm about to call you a fucking idiot, but oh my god, it is so bad. That's my hot take. Is that if you think this grouping of movies are good, you're insane. That's where I leave. I could not believe it.
I would speculate to say that I could. I mean, especially if the money runs as deep on this as it sounds, this could definitely be some like Seth Rogen shadow funding. You know what I mean? Apparatus. Like, dude, he would definitely be in support of something like this.
Let's look it up right now. How much did Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong cost to make? Not publicly available.
See, because if it's camcorder, part of me is like, realistically, you can call in favors for a lot of stuff that I'm wondering if like...
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, man, do you want to spend the weekend? We're going to get high. We're going to record some insane, scenes. And, do you have some special effects folks here who can make stuff move?
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I'm sure regardless it costs too much. This money could have been spent on literally
they got Cheech and Gary Busey. I don't know. It's I might be getting too aggressive with the hate here, but all I'm saying is this grouping of movies I think has a following, and maybe not exactly these movies, but other movies exactly like these, and they're trying to like make this whole stoner. Like, I love stoner movies. Like, we do it all the time. We do the movies that are bad, but that makes it fun.
Yeah.
This is not it. The fact that they've made like 10 of these or 15 of these is insane. That's where I leave it.
Period. I have some Googling to do tonight. Maybe just to see some scenes from these movies. Yes. I am curious, but Yeah, not enough to watch a whole movie. I just want to see maybe some kills. Maybe just see how ridiculous that gets.
Yeah, there's not even that many kills. There's a couple, but. Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to see her. Maybe we'll have to watch one sometime.
Yeah, when we start streaming reactions,
just to show you.
I'll watch that.
I'll watch anything at least once
just to know,
just
right?
To know, So. Oh yeah, no, it's bad. But other than that, that's my only hot take, if you can even call it that. But we'll give it to you.
My hot take, I'm realizing, is kind of a current event. So, as of recording this, they are ending season 4 of Marvel Rivals. And the new characters will be announced potentially tomorrow. They've been teasing. And today we got our most official tease, kind of locking in for sure who the next characters are going to be. So, the next season, they've kind of teased around, it's going to be, the lovers, devotion to each other, all that. The new characters are Rogue and Gambit of the X-Men. And I really like those characters.
Are they romantically involved?
Yeah, they're
in the comics?
They are a pair. They are.
I did not know that.
They're married actually, and they have 3 cats.
Wow. Okay. All right. Goals.
No, literally. Yeah. I like those characters. I am more excited for Rogue, obviously, than Gambit. I'm going to get to that in a sec. Mm-hmm. But I a double, hot take here. There's a lot of conversation because Rogue, according to leaks, is going to be a support character. And a lot of people are upset about that because you think of 90s Rogue as what's it called? Big flying, through the sky, strong and durable, tanky, flying tank vibe. Gambit will probably be a regular damage character, with, throwing cards as his primary fire. I really feel like Rogue should be a support character. And not necessarily in the...
So you agree with what they're doing?
I agree with what they're doing. Because I think from the leaks that I saw, and this could all be... there's a lot of fake stuff in the files that people parse through. Fake characters and fake developments for the game. But from what I saw has allegedly been mined in the files about Rogue, her... kit, what this character in this game is going to be, is truly a chameleon who can take specific abilities from different characters that are in the game. So you can take Mantis's healing power, you can take Magneto's shield, you can take Jean's teleport move, and you can kind of just mix all that together to create whatever your Rogue is going to be doing, and I love that concept.
So you can create your Rogue before the game even starts.
Well, I don't know. I think it's going to be more so like Loki's ult works, where he looks at people and he can when you hit his ult, whoever your thing is locked onto, you copy them and you get to turn into them. I think Rogue is going to have a lot more going on in terms of you can take specific abilities, and also I think in terms of healing. There's a character in Overwatch called Brigitte, who I really like, who's a healing tank, who basically the way her thing works is in a 15 meter, she has a mace and a shield. And within a 15 meter radius around her, she hits things with her shield, and she self-heals and heals the people around her. So there's a rally aspect. So it's you're tanking because you're taking all this damage.
She almost like a Valkyrie, kind of.
I think that as a vibe for Rogue is also very exciting to me if it goes more in that direction. Just because there's she can siphon powers. Also, she's not limited by touch as she was at one point in the comics. She can siphon from across the room. And she can siphon powers and also life force. So I think they're doing some sort of life force redirection aspect to her. I really like. And I want her to be versatile. I think that's what's important about Rogue is if they went with a more traditional 90s bombshell flying tank thing, I would be worried about that really diminishing the potential of that character. So... I'm in support of Rogue being a strategist support character. And my hot take about Gambit is I like Gambit. I'm not the most anti-Gambit person, but Gambit should not be getting added to this game ahead of a lot of people. I think Gambit, it's that classic thing of this relationship with Rogue has served Gambit so much because I just don't think that Gambit... No shit.
Fucking, because again, I feel like the MCU runs a lot of this. Channing Tatum, right? Played him. Do you think that has anything to do with it?
for sure. And I just think like, but even like the Channing Tatum version, there's like a weird like Mandela effect occurring. I fear of like, I don't know. I don't think that.
I liked the Gambit in the X-Men movie.
X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Yeah. Is that the one where they end at 3 Mile Island, right?
Yeah.
Just crazy.
That is crazy that was 3 Mile Island.
Yeah.
I just think that Gambit, like, I'm eager to see how he looks in this game. Because I think that what I want is something different. I want us to give us a new take on this, because if he's just throwing cards and his ult is throwing a card and there's a big explosion, I'm going to be a little
big
pissed.
Card.
I'm going to be pissed off, because I just feel like there's a lot more. Maybe it's going to be charging an enemy, or I don't know, because his whole thing is the kinetic energy thing. So he charges objects with kinetic energy. I just really want them to innovate with that, and if they don't innovate, I'm going to be pissed off. And I stand by my hot take of just like,
what kind of character is he?
He's going to be a damage for sure.
Okay.
Like, there's no doubt in my mind he's going to be throwing.
DPS, right?
Yeah, DPS. Yeah. Which is fine, but I would have loved Cyclops in this game before Gambit. I feel like that would be more
That's surprising
satisfying.
They haven't put that in a Marvel Rivals yet, a Cyclops.
Yeah.
I feel like he's like the guy. He's like one of the X-Men.
He is the X-Men.
I was gonna say, we've heard your Cyclops pitch before.
There's during the most recent comic book era, this is my Cyclops thing, and then I'm gonna get off it, but they had like elections for the X-Men, and at the end of every issue of X-Men you saw a different character, and like the mutants all formed like they came together telepathically, and they had a big like quorum where they all made the case for why they should join the X-Men. And you got to see what each of them said, and some of them were like, I really want to help. Some of them were like, I'm hesitant, and they got voted anyway. All Cyclops said to the psychic collective of mutants on planet Earth, he said, I am the X-Men. And he got the leader of the X-Men. Cyclops is aura. Cyclops is him.
He's him.
I just cannot wait for Cyclops to truly get his day in the sun, because I just feel like people, they don't get it. That's my man.
That is surprising they haven't pushed him, but I don't know. That's what it is,
I think they're holding off, but hey.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for hot takes is, Rogue, let's see it. Gambit, TBD.
Yeah, TBD, all right. Hey, we did pretty good today. We didn't create any enemies, hopefully. I feel like sometimes our takes are very hot, but today we did all right.
Definitely.
Yeah. So like every episode we've been doing now, we try to do a sort of like a prompt, like a discussion point every week that we just think would be something fun to discuss. So I guess Derek had the idea. I'll let you take it away here of what our prompt is.
Like given kind of like maybe just my TikTok algorithm, I've been seeing a lot of stuff about like flash games and that genre of game that you would go on like addictinggames.com or I think there was also games.com or like I would go on like Cartoon Network, and they just sort of have like a whole bunch of games.
I ripped cool math games.
Yeah,
hey, cool also those. Games. Yeah.
But yeah, just in general, like asking, because I don't know if I know. I definitely don't know like what your experience with flash games is. Like, what is your touch point for that sort of thing?
Yeah, so I think like every kid out, who were our age at the time, obviously ripped back addictinggames.com. Like that was if we have any other slightly younger listeners, if you did not experience the hype that was addictinggames.com, like I don't know, is that still up? It probably has a
There's
URL.
no way.
There is. I mean, I could see it just cuz, but it can't be like it was. There's no way. But yeah, that was like the site, like not only was everything like free, but I mean, man, there were some really cool, like creative, like, they were like quick games. There was nothing crazy, but I mean, hence it's a flash game. The ones I have written down here are, do you remember Stick Rider?
I think I remember
Stick Rider? Mm-hmm. You could make, at one point, and maybe it also turned into like Penguin Rider or something, I forget. But you could draw the path at which this like stick man on a sled like went down.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like
oh
that,
my
like that
God.
was sick.
That was so many hours.
That was so much fun.
The sled.
Oh, just making all these and you make them do loops, and then they, you could do all this stuff like to make them do flips, and like I don't know, it was cool to draw your own path, and then you could see if it like worked or not. I don't know. It was, again, now you compare some of these things to like games now, and you're like, oh, sounds like easy or dumb, or there's not a lot going on there, but at the time it was like awesome.
Kids today are like, I watched a Daft Punk Fortnite concert for free, actually. So
yeah, wow, that
sounds really cool.
In my Ariana Grande skin.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, but yeah, so that was sick. I just have written down war game. I forget what it's called, but there was a game where it was like you on one side, like the left side of the screen, and then you had like a base. It was like War of the Ages or something like that. Or Ages of War, maybe, is what it was called. I forget. But you had a base on one side, and the enemy had a base on another side. And you started in cavemen times. So your base was like cavemen themed. And you had units that you would like... So it was a... You would side scroll on the screen. So you couldn't see the whole battlefield at once. You had to like scroll left or right to like see the enemy's base or whatever. And you would pay for units that you would it would just like send, as you click them, it would send them out of your base, and they'd go and try to attack the opponent's base. And whoever's base got to 0 hit points like loses, right? So you're trying to beat like the computer.
I'm so nostalgic for this.
Do you remember this?
Right.
Yeah, I remember this. Is that what it's called? Age of War? Yes, that's what it was. Yep. You started off with like cavemen, and then it went to like cavemen on like the dinosaurs, that doesn't make sense, but whatever. And then
I think it's still available.
It went to like muskets, like those type of times, and eventually it gets like modern day, like military men and tanks, and then it goes to like future, like aliens and shit. That was a great game. I fuck with that game heavy. And then the last one I have written here, or two actually, any escape the whatever.
Yeah.
So like now they have those escape rooms, which I've never done, and I would really like to do it just because I know I would like probably, like, they just took the escape games from like Addicting Games and just made them into like what you now know as like an escape room. So anybody who hasn't played those games, that's what that's from. The whole like, oh, we have to like find this like thing under here, like, oh, there's something under this carpet, oh, there's like 3 numbers, like where does that go to, like, oh, we found this little like lock on this thing that has, oh, it's a 3-digit code, like that type of shit. It all came from these games. So they had like Escape the Room, Escape the Office, Escape the Car, Escape the Phone Booth. Like they had all these different games, and I love those games. Those are sweet. And then last one I just have Murder Kitten written down because I completely forget what it was called. But you like shot this, like, I'm pretty sure it was a cat, like out of a cannon, and it would just periodically hit things along its path that would like explode it and like make it go further down the path, and you're trying to just get the furthest distance you possibly could get. I mean, it's honestly just pure luck. Like you would just aim the cannon angle and then you'd do the power. So like you would just keep trying combinations of like angle and power out of the cannon, and you would like at school, you compare with friends, like, oh, like mine got this far, again, no skill involved whatsoever, but it was like a fun like thing that we all did. Which I guess, talking about school, I said it earlier, addicting math games, or no, cool math games. So on the school computers, they this was back in the early days of like cybersecurity. So the IT people had to go in and physically type in URLs that like you couldn't like visit, or they would use like keywords that they type in a bank, right? And they'd say if any URL like has these words in it, so like porn, for example, like that's like anything porn related. Obviously, like you can't have kids looking at that, right? That we give out these laptops for them to use. Very early into like the whole laptop in schools thing, but cool math games was not blocked, and I think it got so popular to the point, like over like a year or two, where they started putting games into cool math games that weren't even math games. Like they were straight up addicting games, like games on there. So we would rip back because we could play it in school, like on the little school laptops. So I remember there was like a couple, and there were even some that, like, inherently were like puzzles or problem solving, but they were actually fun as well. Like some of the more educational ones were still pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know. That is a very weird world of like gaming, and that was only like you really only maybe 4 years that was like a thing. Like it was very contained.
I feel like it was through like when I was in middle school. I remember going on like CartoonNetwork.com and having a lot of options.
True. Yeah.
Do you ever see like the Teen Titans like head to head like it was almost like Mortal Kombat Teen Titans?
It rings a bell.
Battle Blitz or something like that.
Yeah, it rings a bell.
There was a really fun Billy and Mandy if you were
It was cool.
Mandy
all of those. I think Disney did the same thing, like Nickelodeon. They all did that, where they all had Flash games that you could play.
Ed Netty had really cool games on there, like that were randomly like based in certain episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, there was one where like you had like I'm just looking at like a list, but like Ed Netty where you would like.
It's like a fighting game?
Yeah, and you'd pick a character and you would do wrestling. Like, they were all, like, wrestlers in this game based on an episode, and they would, like, wrestle each other.
That's pretty cool.
But just a lot of... Oh, there was a Ben 10 game I really liked.
Oh, man, I would have liked that. I fucked with Ben 10.
Speaking of... And feel free to steal this idea. I am considering, like... I feel like a Ben 10 Halloween costume would be really cool. I saw a couple people do it. But I have an angle on this that I feel like would be cool for someone to do successfully. If I were to be Ben 10 for Halloween next year, maybe it would just be like one-off because it's like the white shirt and the cargo pants and all that.
Yeah, you need that Omnitrix. That's
Omnitrix is the thing.
You would have to buy an Omnitrix.
But I would absolutely like do my nails. And I would have each nail be one of the 10, right?
Ooh,
like I feel like that would be a fun angle on it, and then they're all spend 10.
Yeah. His loaded, exactly. His loaded aliens.
But yeah, I was on CartoonNetwork.com for a little bit there, like every day for sure, and I was ripping. I mean,
all the games,
really cool. Oh, there was a Tom and Jerry game where you would like build traps. To try to like, and I think you could play.
They were all so creative too. I feel like for what they were, like they truly were. Like you couldn't save your progress, could you? Or maybe,
it was just fully like jump in and. Oh wait, I found the Teen Titans game is pretty universally loved, but Battle Blitz.
Wow, the Battle Blitz.
And you just would...
Yeah, it's like a side fighting. Yeah, that looks sweet.
Really big fan, and there was some Nickelodeon ones too that I did like, but I feel like Cartoon Network really stands out in my brain, maybe because I also just like I felt like there were even Adult Swim games on there from what I recall. Like they really had a lot going, and I really liked the vibe of like Cartoon Network and Toonami at the time. So just big fan of those old Flash games. And I'm so nostalgic. Of course, I played Addicting.
Wow, say it again.
Of course, I was on Addicting games too, and like I feel like there was like Rainbow Unicorn Attack. Does that ring any bells?
That sounds very familiar.
That one I remember playing a lot of. You just run familiar. And do stuff as a Rainbow Unicorn. Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about Toonami. Did you ever watch...
yes.
This is a
Toonami. I forgot about that.
Pivot, but it's just on my brain.
I gotta look up the shows.
I loved... what's it called? Harvey Birdman. I'm a little bit... That's a stoner show. Before I knew what marijuana was, I loved Harvey Birdman because it was just...
Harvey Birdman.
He's a lawyer who is litigating... He's a Birdman. He's like a superhero. Okay. But he's a lawyer who is litigating and arguing legal cases for cartoon characters. So like the first episode is like there's like a Scooby-Doo lawsuit. No, it was Johnny Quest. Do you remember Johnny Quest as a cartoon?
Yes, I do remember
and
that.
And it's Dr. Quest and his companion Rick, who is like an outdoorsman, and they're implied in this to be gay, but that was not a thing in the original Johnny Quest, obviously. But they're having a custody battle over Johnny Quest and his friend, whose name I don't recall.
That's great.
And Harvey Birdman is litigating it, and I'm like, that is so fucking funny.
Wow.
So yeah, I love Toonami.
Oh, Birdman? Is it just called Birdman?
Maybe. I think Birdman is the original cartoon,
okay.
But then he's like Harvey Birdman, like attorney at law or something like that.
Interesting.
It's
just a random. What is this? Just Toonami shows, and it has just. I don't know. Wow.
It's like came out in 2000, and he's a Birdman lawyer. we will have a deeper conversation about Toonami at some point. Because
I'm seeing some of these, and I definitely don't remember all of them, but some of them definitely stuck with me. Mm-hmm. I didn't know the Powerpuff Girls was a Toonami show.
I think after a certain point, like we talked about 20-year cycles. It's like once kids hit a certain age and Powerpuff Girls was no longer on a Cartoon Network, I think they transitioned it to Toonami before the end of
interesting.
The end of
this is a lot of these are like the animes too. Samurai Jack.
Yeah,
that went to 2017.
No, it went like to 2005, but then they did a final season in 2017, if you recall.
That does kind of ring a bell.
And they and it aired on Adult Swim and or Toonami, and they made it so that like Jack was killing people, like it was, and you see him take a human life for the first time, because in the original he's fighting robots and he's fighting like he cuts their arm off and oil flies all over his face in lieu of like blood.
That's crazy.
But you see him kill someone and then realize this was a human being. That.
Bad Toes on here. Yep. I guess that got transitioned at some point. A lot of
stuff that was
like animes and stuff where I feel like this would have helped me get into anime. I only watched Sword Art Online. Was that originally a Toonami? Because I've seen that.
Not originally, but I think when it got dubbed, like when it was English dubbed, I remember watching that on Toonami.
Wow.
I got my grandpa to watch it.
I watched that in college. That was one of the first animes I ever watched.
Did you watch past season 1?
So I heard there was a second season, which I didn't know for a minute. I just thought it was the only one, the one season.
You should preserve your
that's what I've been told. That's
season 1.
That's what I've been told. Just like don't ever watch the second. And I don't know.
They make
I'm also
choices.
one of those people where whenever I'm told that, I'm like, no, now I'm watching it. Like now I'm watching because I want to make my own like decision on it. And usually it's always what has been told to me. Like, yeah, you're right. But I don't know. I get that vibe where I'm like, no, now I want to watch it. Like no. Like with the Red Rising books that we talked about, they have what 4 through 6, like the second trilogy or whatever. And I've been told by some people like, oh no, like just don't go after the third one. And it's like, well, no, I kind of want to, fuck it. Now I am going to read 4 and I want to make the decision. But I don't know. Every once in a while, you like something that nobody else does. Or...
I agree, and I think if your interest in the brand is like enough, then like fuck that. But I don't know. Listen, I'm just gonna say it.
I kind of want to rewatch that. To be honest,
I hold to the first I would say like 7 episodes of Sword Art Online are like so strong in terms of world building, communicating the vibe, the fear around like, oh my god, if I die in the game, I die in real life. Like that has been done so many times, and they've really uniquely approached it. The second one, those stakes are not there, and there is an incest subplot. So let's you know what I mean? Like why do we do that? And it's like one of those like, well, we don't it's our game avatar, so I don't know you're my sister. That sort of thing. Why?
That's bad.
So that's why I don't recommend it. But there was a third season that I think was a little better handled.
I've only seen that. I saw the first when was that? 2014, 2015, and then since then, I've never revisited. I watched it that once and never rewatched it, and I was just like, wow, that was great. On to the next show.
Yeah.
It was quick though, which I liked. It was only that one season. I was like, wow, that was like nice, compact. Like that's a good like. I felt like it was a good getting into anime.
I think it's great for that, to be honest. I think it's a great like introduction, and I think I wish so many different things were different choices were made, because I feel like that initial premise was so strong. I wish that because if you remember, they don't make it to the 100th floor. Like there's like kind of a MacGuffin ending a little bit that I'm like, ugh. But listen,
I should go back and watch that.
We will talk more about Sword Art Online, I feel.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you have any thoughts on
Flash games, Toonami, what we talked about a whole bunch of things. SAO. Share all thoughts.
Yeah, share all thoughts. Sure. Oh yeah. And lastly, like how we end every episode, we have our recommendations of the week. I guess, do we ever say the like the meaning behind us always giving recommendations? I feel like we never gave that out
so,
to
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I don't know. So very briefly, we originally started recording this podcast, like this was what, a year ago, probably? Yeah. We originally wanted to, what was it called? Like Put On Pod, I think is what we wanted to call it.
The concept being let me put you on.
Let me put you on to things, right? And the whole idea was like, we talked about this in I think like the first episode or two, where we both like have similar interests and we have a lot of like nerdier media type interests. There's definitely a Venn diagram of where we overlap, and then there's things that Derek knows a ton about that I know nothing about. There's things that I have done that he doesn't know about when it comes to certain games or movies or books or whatever it is. And we thought that'd be cool to like, you know, put you on to something, right? Yeah. But then we quickly realized that that becomes taxing. Every week, if you try to give someone something and want their honest like opinion on it, I mean, it's like it's essentially giving ourselves homework.
It's a lot of work.
It was like, oh yeah, read this book, and it's like, well, this is 400 pages, you know, or oh, watch this whole season 1 of this show. It's like, well, all right, now I'm gonna have to rip like 9 hours of this show this week.
Yeah.
So we now have morphed it into, we still like the concept of giving like recommendations, or even viewers giving us recommendations. So at the end of our episodes, we like to give a recommendation.
I just to say, like, I like this format for different reasons, and I feel like part of it is like the excitement is like talking about it, and I'm always willing to like hear out things, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, you know, we could always eventually get to something, but I feel like there's a you know, it's I just appreciate the conversation, even if I feel like I don't know a ton about a concept. I feel like we can really effectively describe, you know, what's going on. But yeah, no,
I guess I'll start us off here. And this is the first. Instead of giving a recommendation, I am in search of a recommendation. This is something that I've thought about and kind of talked to some friends about. And when I was coming up with what to talk about this week, I was like, I need recommended something. So growing up, have always, and kind of even talked about this episode of like watching Yu-Gi-Oh, but enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh. I remember I was big into card games. Not only would I collect Pokemon cards, but I feel like I was the only one of my friends that actually like learned how to play it correctly and like to play the card game. I liked playing the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. I had like the Game Boy Advance game where you could play. I want to know, I mean, we even play Magic now, like all about the cards. I've since in recent years tried to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh, whether it's through they have like a free like online version of Yu-Gi-Oh that you can play like off of Steam, where you play like computers or you play like people, you know, in the network or server. And a lot of people I feel like agree with me in the fact that new Yu-Gi-Oh has like essentially gone in the shitter. Like the way you play the game is very different. There's a lot of new mechanics involved. I don't know. I've tried and I'm like, this is too much. It's not what I remembered. I kind of just want the old Yu-Gi-Oh back. Is there a best practice or a recommendation you would have to getting back in to being able to play kind of like original Yu-Gi-Oh, like how it started? I've even gotten some old cards off Facebook Marketplace. I'm wondering, is there like an online game I don't know about? You know, am I just going to have to repurchase that Game Boy game to try to get any sort of that like old school rules back? It's come to the point where I don't even remember there's an overlap of, I can't remember what's a new rule and what's an old rule. And it's hard to like hop back into it. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe there's people out there that actually have been doing this. And I just haven't given it enough research because I have a million fucking other things to do. I mean, I already put myself on a ban of buying video games because I just need to focus on things. So yeah, I don't know. This is a rare time where I want a recommendation on the best way to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh. Even if you recommend a way of, even with the new rules, maybe giving it another go. Like maybe this is how to approach it. However you can give me a recommendation to enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh again. Preferably with old rules. If not, whatever you can give me, that would be great. I think that'd be I think a lot of people listening or watching would I mean, if you're now on episode 7 there's like a 50% chance if you're listening and have watched us this long that you are probably into Yu-Gi-Oh at some point in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. Hit us with a recommendation. I feel like that'd be good.
I will say, I totally forgot about this until right now, but I am parasocially attached to some Yu-Gi-Oh YouTubers.
There we go.
They are on YouTube as head-to-head battles. So shout out to y'all, Susu and Jen. Congrats on your baby you just had.
Wow,
it's a really cute, like, they met through Yu-Gi-Oh! And now they like have a life. It's
That's pretty cool.
I'm a fan. But they use a app. It's like very similar to Magic the Gathering. I know they have Magic the Gathering Arena. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And
I have that. I think on Steam.
I remember I played on it like very briefly at one point, and I was trying to do like public like games. And sort of, I ran into the issue where, like, my frame of reference for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is out of date. And, I mean, when I tell you...
Back when the Blue Eyes White Dragon was, like, one of the top motherfuckers, you know?
When I tell you, I'm, like, I go on my turn, I draw a card, I put one face down, and I put a card out and attack, it goes to their turn, and they cycle through half their deck in one turn because you can put something out, synchro summon, use an ability, get a spell card on the field, use that to reshuffle your hand, and then you get this, like, I'm not joking, like, I was getting 2 turns taken out by people because there's so many mechanics I'm unfamiliar with. I'm sure there's a tutorial aspect to help you get more familiar with certain things.
That's gotta be an oversight on their part, because how can you make it easy for someone to like rifle through their deck in one turn?
I think that in general there is just like a real power scaling. Like they and Magic deals with it, but I think Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of like the poster child in that trinity of like Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Pokemon. I think Yu-Gi-Oh is the worst offender of that specifically. But I think Master Duel is cool. But I agree with you in that, like, I think there needs to be a resource for people who, I don't think we're unique in that there are people whose frame of reference for Yu-Gi-Oh is...
Again, shout out to, like, it might as well be, we should have honorary members of the pod.
True.
And Alex and Raleigh, again, my like very good friends from home. We've talked about this exact conversation, and like even when I go get this, ready? Here, I'll show you guys. I went on the Facebook Marketplace and met in the parking lot of an IHOP. I just spilled water everywhere. That's great.
Oh man!
And look at this. I have a bunch of these cards. Some of them like the older cards, right? So you can see like that's like. You know, we remember people like that, right? I don't remember that.
Say their name.
Here we go. Silver Fang. That's an OG.
I know Silver Fang.
That is an OG. So, you know, there's some good ones in here, I guess. I guess also if you rip like an old, like original Dark Magician or Blue Eyes White Dragon, I feel like they're expensive.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but maybe that's another. So that's why I'm thinking digitally, right? Like, is there a video game I can get? Or again, it might just be re-getting the GBA game. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to hear people's thoughts. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I'm glad. Listen. We will do without water. It doesn't seem to be urgent.
I was gonna say, thank God my computer is above the ground.
Yeah,
that works out perfect. So, all right.
Well,
yeah. What's your recommendation?
To wrap us up today, my recommendation today, while I was enjoying Halloween weekend this year, I went to the cinema and I watched
the theater,
and I watched the new Chainsaw Man movie, which is a anime that has been out for a couple years now. Chainsaw Man. I'm not sure what your familiarity is with Chainsaw Man.
I've seen people cosplay Chainsaw
the big
Man?
Chainsaw head.
Yes, that's
dude.
It. I know what he looks like. That's it. I couldn't tell you what it's about. Nothing.
I would say I am really, really connecting with the lore of Chainsaw Man. Okay. I am really impressed. I am a lore whore. Okay. All right. That's off the dome. That's off the dome. I'm a lore whore, and this movie really impressed me. It is animated. It is like genuinely the most impressive animation I've seen all year. There is a fight, and I don't even want to say too much because I just feel like I don't want to spoil certain aspects of the concept. But Maybe just to get people a little familiar with what Chainsaw Man is about. Like, this is it takes place in a world where there are like it's our world essentially. There are some key things that are different, which is part of the spoilers later on. But there are devils that are made manifest in our world, and these devils are manifestations of humanity's fear of people, concepts, items. So the main character is a character named Denji, who is has a little companion with him that is a little dog thing with a little tiny chainsaw thing coming out of its face,
really?
called Pochita. And Denji and Pochita are dead poor, like super poor. The world is ruthless.
Keep in mind, this guy you're talking about, you're setting the scene. He has the chainsaw on his head.
No, he's a regular human, and in fact is missing. He has an eye patch at the start of the story, and discloses that he sold his eye for money. And he says, "I only have one testicle because I sold it for money."
He's selling his spheres.
He sold them all, and that's in episode 1. But he owes a whole bunch of money to the mob.
He's selling his spheres.
And he. Basically, the mob is playing him. He's owed them money since his father died when he was a child, and he will never be free. But he's a devil hunter to make money, and he fights these devils that are made manifest in our world. So devils can be anything. They can be just something that humanity fears. So in episode 1, you see, I believe he or another devil hunter fights and kills the tomato devil because people are afraid of tomatoes, you know. But the tomato devil just looked like a tomato with a whole bunch of eyes and legs, and I mean that's freaky if you're afraid of tomatoes for sure.
I guess. Yeah.
But you know, devils, they like to consume human blood to sustain themselves, so they do attack people. And there's, you know, a special division that hunts devils for the government in Japan, and that's like a thing. But
are these devils like created? Or are they like have always to exist?
If humanity's collective fear grows strong enough in something, a devil will be made manifest. Okay. So we talk about the tomato devil, and then, you know, Denji, things happen. You can make contracts as a human with the devil, and if you do, you give something up. So you give up like your heart or your I think he gives up his heart.
Other eyeball and testicle.
but you can become essentially something for the devil to channel through, and you give up. At one point, you see people.
So like you're a warlock.
Yeah, literally. You see, there's a character who has a contract with the snake devil, which is very powerful because a lot of people are afraid of snakes.
Yeah.
And so when she utilizes the power of the snake devil, you see, and I love shit like this. She, you know, points. And you see one of her fingernails disintegrate because that's part of the concept, the contract with this devil. It consumes something of her, and then a giant snake is made manifest around her that attacks people. But what I love about this show is again, the power of these devils is relative to the collective fear that humanity has around these things and concepts. So the tomato devil is low on the totem pole, right? Yeah. But then you get into weapons, right? So the chainsaw devil.
You get into chainsaw.
Yeah, and the chainsaw devil is particularly powerful. I'm not going to say too much on that.
You think of like horror movies where like the killer has the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right. You think about things like what would the gun devil be? How powerful would the gun devil be in our world? Like in a world where guns do genuinely contribute to a lot of fear, or swords, and then also,
interesting.
Tank devil. how powerful would something like the darkness devil be? How many people are afraid of the dark? Oh yeah, you know. How many people?
The spider devil.
The spider devil.
The spider devil.
The shark devil.
Yeah.
The eternity devil. How many people are afraid of the concept of eternity? And also, how would those powers?
Devil. The Grim Reaper.
There's a character who I feel very connected to, who is a character in this movie who is the angel devil, who represents people's fear of angels. And he just looks like a dude. He's in a suit, and because he works for the government. But he has like pink hair down to here, big angel wings, and a halo over his head. But the whole concept of the angel devil is sustained physical contact with him siphons your life force. And so at one point, a character touches the angel devil, you know, in a certain circumstance, and says like so what, like, is the effect of, like, me touching you? And the angel devil's like, you lost 2 months. Like, you were 2 months closer to your death after touching me.
Shit.
And I love this because it's like, there's so much opportunity for creativity of, like, not only what these things are. I'm gonna say something that is definitely, like, I don't want to say a spoiler, but I think it's just something to be like one of the things that got me excited about this premise and concept is we've talked about all these things, but, like, what would the war devil look like? What would the control devil look like? People having fear of control or losing control, and, like, what would the power that are being in our world, like, how would they be able to pull strings? How would they be able to interact with, like, people on the ground, but also larger systems? It is really fucking cool. And like I said, this movie.
So what's it called? Just the Chainsaw Man movie?
I believe it's called Chainsaw Man: The Reze arc. Reze is a character that's featured in this. I don't think I'm spoiling anything when I say, like, you know, you get into some stuff with, like, there's devils in this movie such as the Typhoon Devil and the Bomb Devil. And hey, bombs, you know, pretty powerful. But the concept of, like, being able to there's a scene in this movie, and I don't think this is gonna spoil it too severely, but there's a scene in this movie. There's a fight taking place, and you see a character get uppercutted at the base floor of a building, go up through the entire building, windows exploding on every floor. It is like a split. It maybe is like 2 seconds of animation. It is the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
I was mind blown by this movie, and Chainsaw Man is just really cool as a concept. I cannot recommend enough people get into Chainsaw Man because it is. I mean, it's also crude and lewd, so be prepared for a lot of that. The main character, his life is terrible. He sold a nut to make money.
He did
so.
A nut.
Upon making the contract, now that he's a devil, he can heal himself. So you see him get sliced and diced, and he heals back to his base form. 2 nuts as far as we know. But you know, his motivation and how he's motivated to, like, do things with the devil hunters is like I am seeking sexual contact with a woman. He's like, that's so key. But I encourage you, if you're turned off by, like, anime that do stuff like that, just pay attention to what is going on, because there is manipulation.
I feel like I know you enough that you wouldn't recommend something that is, like, dirty like that.
I know. I just think it's like,
I feel like I can tell them to trust you in this recommendation.
Listen, enemy of the pod, unfortunately, and this is a bold enemy declaration.
No.
But Nicki Minaj. There's always a Nicki quote, though, that speaks to the moment, and the Nicki quote is, "You're not going to get it the first time. You're not going to get it the second time. The third time, you're going to be like, wait, I'm hearing something," and then you're going to lock in. And maybe it'll be less for you, because I think
that bar for bar. Right,
that's the quote. She said. I don't remember what song she said it about, but I feel like that is a relevant quote to this. I think if you don't know if you get it, just
give it another go.
Give it another go and stick. It's like that typical thing with anime. Get to episode 6 in this anime, because I think that's where you're going to be able to see.
But for the movie, you're chilling though, right? Like,
yeah. I would say the movie you could go into with like limited knowledge, but I think if you watch this, the one season that's out, another season will be coming out that I believe takes place after this movie. Okay. So it goes season 1 movie, season 2,
season, then rip the movie.
I recommend 100%. It blew my mind. So, just that's my
recommendation. Good recommendation.
But yeah, that is all I got in terms of the Rex. I mean, trying to think if there's anything else.
I think we kind of nailed it as usual.
Yeah. Hey, I think so too.
Yeah. No, yeah. I guess everybody, stay tuned. Like I talked with some people this week and weekend, make sure you are subscribed and hit the bell, right?
Yeah, there's a notification bell. Feel free to hit that so that you get all notifications when we post. Typically it'll be on Mondays. This week was a little weird because of Halloween and travel.
Yeah. But we're in our costumes. We made it.
Yeah, no, we're on.
Yeah, but I had a friend this weekend was like, yeah, watch the first couple episodes and like listened, but like, you haven't told me about any other episodes. And I was like, oh, well, I thought you would subscribe after the first two. Yeah. So yeah, you know, just subscribe and please let us know what you think. Again, we say this every week. Maybe this will finally be the week. We need to get on our socials and start posting things, and that'll kind of, you know, even we should, like, with the YouTube channel, like, comment on other podcasts, like, stuff, and I don't know. I feel like we need to start our outreach. Mm-hmm. So, you know, there's only so much we can ask the Void to follow us. We need to also outreach. So
yeah, definitely.
We'll get on it though. I don't feel any bad way about how we're going about it so far. So.
No, it feels good. Yeah. So. Well, thanks for tuning in, y'all.
Yeah,
listen, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Have a good week.
See ya.